This is Eli Kaplan with Ancestral Recall, and today we're going to be opening up a box of Born of the Gods. It is midnight here at Red Cap's Corner here in Philadelphia. In my opinion, the best gaming store in Philly. Not that there's a lot of competition, but we're going to be opening up in the box. I'm going to spend most of my time talking about uncommons and rares and foils. I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking at commons. Please, guys, I hope you enjoy this video. If you enjoy it, please subscribe, hit that like button, and go back and check out my other videos. I do lots of stuff on Magic's history and odd and unusual formats. One thing I did last week, I covered the Vanguard format, one of Magic's earliest casual formats. All right, so this right here, here's my buy a box promo. We got the Faded Conflagration, pretty awesome card. I like the foil on it. And this right here, well, bumping up against the camera, that is one of my two boxes that I'm going to open, and I'm going to just go about this real quick. Like I said, not going to spend any time looking at commons or uncommons. Well, I'll look at the uncommons, and the rares, but just keeping it real simple. All right. Adjusting camera. Bunch of commons, not super interested. Start off with Kiora's Follower, pretty awesome uncommon. Definitely, I like blue, green in the current format. Just so many awesome guys, and this guy speeds up your mana, or it just makes combat a pain in the rear end. Archetype of Endurance, 8 mana for 6/5, too much to pay. There might be a deck that loves it, but I don't see myself playing this at all in draft. Sealed, it's unlikely. Spiteful Return, this card was awesome in the pre-release. Really liked it. Really just efficient thing. I put it on a Servant of Tithrix, the guy who regenerates. It was pretty cool. And our rare, Scourge of Skull Vale. Hey, it's that Hydra guy. I beat him on game day. No big deal. I can take him in the fight. Alright, next pack. Ooh, Emblem on Kiora. That's quite nice. Alright. Skipping past the commons. Forlorn Tsunama. Really awesome flavor. Love the art on this card. And it is just a real bear of a 4-drop. I really enjoy it. Peregrination. Maybe people will play this in their EDH decks. It's nice enough, I guess. Raised by Wolves. I like Greek flavor, and just personally speaking, I have a bit of a bias against Roman culture. I tend to have... I've had some experiences going to a Jesuit university, and they love Rome, and me being Jewish and a minority in college just did not buy how awesome Rome was. And my rare is Astral Cornucopia. Nice. Okay. Alright, going right to the uncommons, we got Acroan Phalanx. Solid limited card. I like this in terms of if you're playing not the fastest heroic deck, this is a good vehicle to start building on. Well, okay, it doesn't have heroic, but if you've got some good enchantments, some auras, I love putting Vigilance guys with auras, just seems awesome. Vortex Elemental, I respect it. Really efficient card for what it does. Pinnacle of Rage, overcosted. Probably won't play it at all unlimited. Temple of Malice, pretty sweet. I dig it. Cyclops of One-Eyed Pass. Oh, I feel very uncomfortable. I know that One-Eyed and Cyclops go together, but I have a dirty mind. Yes, folks, unlike my regular shows, this is unscripted. Alright. Just not even looking at the commons. Gorgon's Head. Ooh, I like that touch. Sunbonds. Not going to play it in limited. I strongly doubt it. Nessian Demoloch. Not a big fan of this card. Never does exactly what you want. It's the most Odyssey-like Punisher card in the set, in my opinion. Our rare, Arbiter of the Ideal. Pretty sweet. I opened 2 of these in my pre-release pool. Just tons of fun. I don't think this is ever going to make a 60 or 100 card deck, but it's cool enough. And I got a foil God Favor General. Nice looking foil. That white background, those clouds. I think this is one of the worst of the token making inspired guys, but moving ahead. Slipping past the commons, we've got Ornitharch. All right, I want to be a Cloud Goat Ranger. Mark II. Okay. It doesn't leave quite as many tokens, but I still dig it. These cards are always value. Ashiok's Adept. I really like playing Ashiok in constructed formats. I don't see myself playing this in constructed, but there definitely are some applications for this in limited. Archetype of Finality. This I can get behind. I like Death Touch as a mechanic. Just having lots of little guys. This is obviously best in black-green, but pretty much any archetype will be happy to run this, provided that they have a broad curve of 2s, 3s, and 4s. This is not the best 6, but it's a perfectly serviceable one. And our rare is Guild. I like Guild. It has gold. The minute I saw the tokens for Born of the Gods and I saw Guild, I said, holy crap, that's actually really cool. It's the new Eldrazi spawn. I hope that in Journey into Nyx we get to see an actual legend that is King Midas. So I think there's a good chance of that happening, but maybe I'm wrong. Moving right along. Our uncommon here, we've got Farah's Band Raiders. I'll play this in a green deck. I'm not a huge fan of 6 drops for green, but this guy is definitely one of the best ones out there. It's not too hard to come by. Ghostblade Eidolon. This certainly is value. I think it's perfectly reasonable to just play this, hard cast it if you've got heroic triggers around or other bestow guys. Just getting that double strike guy out there, good enough. Everflame Eidolon. You gotta be careful when you're activating this guy because your opponent can let you pump, exile, and then your guy's removed from combat. It's a little more relevant, I guess, when you're blocking. Never mind, that's not a big deal. Fate Unraveler is my rare. Underground Dreams on the body with 3/4. I'm not as excited as most people I've seen when they open this up, but perfectly reasonable limited card. I would be very happy to open this in any sealed deck if I had a good black component. Divination equals lots of pain for anyone who plays it against this guy. Yeah, you don't get to see me open the pack just the way I'm angled here. Skipping through the commons again. Here we've got Archetype of Aggression. All your guys getting trample, just 3/2 for 3 mana is actually reasonable and limited, and giving everyone trample is a pretty good thing. I actually think this guy might have the most relevant taking away your opponent ability in quite a few matchups. Black Oak, I felt really bad this weekend because I missed saving my guy from the destroy target untapped card. Asphyxiate. Yeah, I missed that at the pre-release. I'm still kicking myself about it. But we live and we learn. Flitherstep Eidolon. I'll get behind this. Just efficient, really good enchantments that break stalemates. I don't want to play with a lot of these in draft, but they're certainly good enough. Our rare, Faded Return. Disappointing. I mean, 7 mana, it'll get played in EDH, but that's it. Not a fan. Alright, flipping past the commons. Alright, really solid card in limited if you can pay for it, Afara's Enlightenment. Just, I think the evasion is incredibly relevant, and just building up your team over time. So many ways to abuse heroic triggers. I dig it. Another Pharaoh's Band Raiders. Another God Favorite General, and our rare Oracle of Bones. I think this guy is actually pretty decent if you load up on powerful spells. It's possible to get this to work in your favor, because it's almost always not going to get hit with Tribute. And our foil here, we've got Mortal's Ardor. Just a mediocre limited trick. Next up. Archetype of Courage. Okay, giving your guys first strike. Okay, maybe this one's better than the red archetype. First strike, if you're sitting around on board, obviously it can be a bit of a blowout if your opponent can remove him mid-combat, but still, it's very likely that you'll be playing this card if you open it in sealed, and it's probably worth picking up in drafts around 4th to 6th pick, I think. Sky Reaping. Do not mispronounce the name of this card. Fanatic of Xenagos. Obviously, grade A Bang Bang. Whelming Wave. Okay, I was watching Young Justice, and the character Robin kept using the verb whelm, and I just thought, okay, this is just obviously some eccentric mispronunciation of the character. It's a real thing. A little draft tech from my buddy Mike Motika. Whelming Wave plus Mnemonic Wall. Or whatever that wall is. The reprint from Rise of Eldrazi. Yeah, just infinite stall the board. Seems pretty awesome. I always like to give credit where credit is due. Especially since I'm not that creative a guy. Alright, skipping through the commons. Here we've got, oh wow. Really, really good limited card. Oracle's Insight. I love, will almost always splash any blue permanent that has a low cost of drawing me a card. So what if I get 2 for 1s? It's worth it. Unravel the Ether. Perfectly serviceable, better than Disenchant. Siren of the Silent Song. Wow. Really amazing limited card. I am totally on board with this. I love drafting blue-black control. Blue-black aggro was my preferred deck of choice in Theros draft, although honestly I didn't perform too well with it. I didn't have a great track record after the first 2 weeks on Magic Online, which is kind of sad, but still, I really appreciate this guy, and I think it would fit well and slot very, very well into that deck. I definitely would be tempted to draft it. We've got a Temple of Plenty. What about the Temple of Good? We need a Temple of Good, so we have Temples of Good and Plenty. Again, folks, I stress, I am not using a script for this episode. This is completely me riffing. All right, skipping through the commons. By the way, at the end, I will open a pack or two, and I will actually make first pick analyses as if I was doing a Born Theros draft. So I will actually look at comments at the end, I promise. Crack into the Straits. Incredibly expensive finisher, but I can see people playing this and winning with it. In sealed, not in draft. Stormcaller of Keranos. Nuts in the right archetype. And 2/2 for haste on its own. It's not that bad. Everflame Eidolon. Talked about it already. Hunter's Prowess. I don't want to open any more of these. I just don't like green. Maybe you'll draw card spells. I like some certainty. All right. Jumping, jumping, jumping. Peregrination. Odunos River Trawler. Alright, this is actually really awesome. I love Gravediggers, and Odunos River Trawler, I mean, it's limited to your bestow guys, but I'll still play it. Well, okay, it doesn't just hit bestow guys. It will also hit things. There are the Spirit of the Labyrinth, those guys. Okay, Noble Quarry. Definitely a reasonable limited card. It definitely breaks stalemate, so there's always going to be room for it in the green deck. Hero of Lena Tower. Definitely I will play this in limited, but I don't have the urge to play Heroic and Constructed. It just doesn't do anything for me. Sorry, Wizards. Let me get that mess out of the way. I need to focus on making sure the camera gets all these cards in their glory. Archetype of Imagination. Okay. All right. You can tell I like the archetypes because I've bounced around them, which is my favorite. Okay, this one is my favorite. Making all your guys unblockable unless they have reach. Well worth 6 mana. Thunderbrute. Ooh, I dig it. Very, very reasonably priced. The tributes, I honestly think most of the time, I mean, it depends on where people are in the game. I think it's hard enough to have a defensive enough game, so I think most of the time this guy is going to end up getting haste. Searing Blood. Whoa. Great removal card. There's nothing much else to say about it. I mean, it does its job extremely well. Temple of Alignment. Huzzah! I want these for standard, so I'm thrilled to open it. And our foil, Black Oak of Odunos. Hopefully my pace is fine for you guys. All right, jumping through. Forlorn Sidamama, Ghostblade Eidolon, Meletus Astronomer. Okay, this is that mechanical fairy guy. The thing I think of is the fairy from Shards of Alara, who lets you look at the top. When he hit play, you could look at the top 3 cards and take artifacts from them. Fairy Mechanist. Meletus Astronomer, not super exciting, but at least you can use the ability repeatedly. So, Mechanist was one and done. On the other hand, it was a 2/2 flyer for 4 mana, and I like those. 1/3 for 1 mana, or for 2 mana, not that hot. And another Arbiter. And we've got, foil Deepwater Hypnotist. I wish that he had some tool that he could wave around like a pendulum, but that's okay. Wizards can just print creepy-looking merfolk. They're welcome to do that. Moving ahead to the next pack. Siren of the Fan Coast. It's Air Elemental. Almost all the time. I played this in pre-release, and that's what it was. And the Air Elemental in Limited is awesome. Kira's Follower. Lightning Volley. I'm pretty sure there was a card in... I want to say it was Prophecy that did the same... that had the same thing. And it costs 4. So this looks really similar to an old card, but the name of it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it. Eidolon of Countless Battles. I'm good at math. I've done lots of time with Tarmogoyfs, so this card does not faze me. Jumping. Chrome Phalanx. Vanguard of Brimaz. Wow. I mean, we're looking at Steadguard. We're Sedvest Guard stats, 2/2 for Vigilance, and he's got an upside. I mean, to me, when I see this card, the first thing I think is Yeah, this is a bit of power creep. But Wizards wanted to get lots of heroic triggers in, so that's okay. Lightning Volley. Spirit of the Labyrinth. Hooray, I want to open these. They are a valuable rare. I like drawing multiple cards per turn, so I'm not happy that this card exists, but I'll still be happy to open this. It probably will get boarded into my Orzhov mid-range deck. Hell, it might even hit a main deck slot. I don't know. I have to think about that. Stormcaller, Ornithork, Acolyte's Reward. I love effects like this in Limited. I love redirecting damage. It just keeps opponents off of their expected game plan. And it's 2 mana. Really, really cheap. Definitely. Good card. Faded Infatuation. I want to play this card in some kind of format. I want this to go into my cube. Some people are shaking their heads, but definitely I want to play with this. I don't think it's cut out for Standard, but I think this is a casual all-star. A friend of mine just said, it's a crappier version of Cackling Counterpart. I said, scry 2. I think that was enough. No, I want to put that in here. I want to make sure I have all my rares so that at the end of the video I'll do a quick recaps. I seem to have not hit any mythics yet, to my recollection. That's kind of disheartening, but I will soldier ever onwards. All right, Archetype of Endurance, Siren of the Fanged Coast, Raised by Wolves, and our rare, Faded Intervention. I like Beast Attack. Now, admittedly, this is one shot, and you get 2/3/3s as opposed to 2/4/4s over 2 castings. But I dig Scry 2. Is this going to get played in Standard? I doubt it. Garrick's, the uncommon Garrick's Packmaster, Garrick's Pack Leader. I think he might actually like that card. If you like to play that card, I think that might go into a casual deck with him. Thassa's Rebuff. Back off, says Thassa. Good counterspell, as long as you have lots of perms in play. But thanks to Devotion being a thing, I mean, Wizards is pushing it. I like blue having lots of permanents on the table. Unfortunately, the last deck I recall that had lots of permanents on the table in blue was the blue Illusion deck. I wasn't a big fan of that in Standard. Sky Reaping, Bioblight. Okay, open one of these. I opened one at the pre-release, so I'm definitely going to start sticking these in my trade binder unless I hold on to them for someone who has requested my extras. Silent Sentinel. Ugh. I think this was the worst of the pre-release promos because it cost 7 and it didn't have an immediate impact when it hit the table. Sorry, thumbs the brakes. If you got the white pre-release pack, I don't think you were making a good decision there. Alright, ditching the commons. Reap what is sown. Okay, this is a blowout. This is a blowout. Unfortunately, you can't double up on a single creature, but as long as you have a board full of dudes, especially lots of heroic dudes, whew, I bet people are going to walk away from matches mothering and moaning, holding their heads because their opponent played this card on them. Eternity Snare. I remember this card. I'll play it. I can imagine Japanese players loving this card because, hey, it's removal and it says draw a card on it. But it's still pretty situational. Drown in Sorrow. Oh, man. Amazing removal card. I'm very surprised that it's uncommon. And yeah, this is the best way for black decks to deal with opposing pack rats because it'll get out early. Am I going to play it in the sideboard of a mono black control deck? There's a good chance of it. And our rare? Whims of the Fates. People say, oh, that's like bulk rare. This goes into the EDH Chaos Players deck. I just have a warm heart for red Chaos decks. And this is a great card that goes into that deck. So people are going to have fun with it. Ooh. I love cards where people get to tell stories, and that is definitely a storytelling card. All right, let's see if we can open something a nice rare here. Thunderous Might. Reuse, I mean, it's devotion, it keeps sticking to the table. This is a really solid uncommon. I dig it. Yay, another Bioblight. Got Favorite General. And another Astral Cornucopia. Cool. Haven't opened any gods. Haven't opened any mythics, to my recollection. Wow, that's really rare. Generally speaking, I generally have a good track record of opening at least 3 mythics in a box. Okay, Onos, River Trawler, Spring Leaf Drum. If you want to play a 5-color deck, this probably has a home in it, but I don't think this is the format for 5 colors. Mischief and Mayhem, meh. I mean, if you really cleared your opponent's board, this could be sick, but you're playing green. I don't see that many ways to clear the opponent's board. Maybe in blue-green when you've got evasion guys, but I think that's the only scenario where you would play this. Painseer. Okay. Painseer is perfectly respectable. I was really excited when I saw Blood Scrivener last standard, and now, okay, that was a bit of a bust. This is a little less situational, but it's still quite situational. Over halfway through the box. Come on, I want a strong closing. Kraken of the Straits. Sorry, I just kind of waved that by. Grave Robber Spider. This actually is a really damn good uncommon. I love giant spiders. Shout out to John Becker. I imagine that I don't know if he sends pizzas to Wizards every time that there's a amazing limited spider, but if he does, I think they're due. Maltus Astronomer. Either of Hope. Yeah, this promo card, 7 mana, doesn't do enough. Just doesn't do enough for 7 mana. I'm sad. I don't understand why people open black pre-release unless they happen to really like playing black. Like Catherine from Loading Ready Run. Alright, moving ahead. Vanguard of Rimaz. Oh, I saw that foil and it's a rare. It's actually a pretty cool one. Siren Song Lyre. I am probably going to play this card a little bit more often than more people. It's definitely a good sealed card. I don't know how hot it's going to be in draft, but I dig it. Archetype of Finality. Nessian Wild's Ravager. Meh. And a foil, Tremocatus. Every time I see this card, I think of the old card game Vampire the Eternal Struggle, aka Jihad. When I was playing that game, I always loved playing Clan Vontru. Their Justicar, a guy with 3 votes, was named Democritus. So I actually put that gag in the Easter egg section of my last video. So anyway, I don't see this as being incredibly valuable as a foil. Maybe some of the H players might like it, but it's still pretty cool. I'm happy to open it.
It's also the release day promo, so that's going to hurt it.
Someone told me it's the release day promo, so that's going to bring it down. Feh. Come on, Mythics. Seriously. I'm going to write a nasty letter to Worth if I don't get one. All right, Shrike Harpy. 187. Really, really fine card in limited and sealed. I don't know. You might have a deck with enough tempo where you might not find this playable, but if you're playing black, I doubt it. Acheron Conscriptor. I owe someone one of these for various reasons. Not going to get into it. But yeah. I am happy with this heroic guy. It's a little slow for 5 mana, but the effect is huge. Definitely play this card. Dawn to Dusk. Isn't this some movie with Rodriguez and Tarantino? That's what I'm thinking. I enjoyed that vampire flick, although the name escapes me. Really, really solid card and sealed. I definitely love cards that get 2-for-1s. Satyr Fire Dancer. I'm a disco dancer and a sweet romancer. Oh yeah. Doom, 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 doom. Sorry. Back in the 90s, I used to spin house and techno. I love vocal samples, so I was hoping that we'll open one of these on camera just because. But I didn't know. I had no idea what vocal sample I was going to echo forth. I didn't know what was going to make people groan. But there you have it. Oh, foil. Citizen Orthswan. Neat looking foil. He's really jumping out of that art there. But 1/1 heroic. I don't want to do it. Not unlimited. Nope. Nope. I don't want to do it. Wow. 10 packs left or so. And still no mythic. This is disappointing. All right. Come on. Let's go for your Phoenix Wright style turnaround. All right. Pillar of War. Or, in the immortal words of Elmer Fudd, Pillar of War. I like defenders in control-ish decks, so honestly, I see myself playing this in blue-black or white-blue decks with lots of flyers. I don't expect to enchant it. I just want a 3/3 body for 3 to gum up the ground. Nessian Demolock. Glimpse the Sun God. This is actually quite the blowout. This is a card that definitely can finish opponents. Get your guys attacking, give them heroic triggers, tap down their team. Wow. I'm a fan. Fellhide Spiritbinder, bad Kiki Jiki. Just don't try to do Kiki Jiki things with this guy. It's not going to work out. It's perfectly fine in limited. Definitely a bomb in limited, but he's not the second coming of one of the most broken cards in Magic. Of course, that's not a fair criterion. Note, I use the singular criterion. It annoys me because I'm an English teacher and I see people say criteria in the singular. Okay. All right. Oracle's Insight. Vortex Elemental, Sunbond, and our rare. Tremocritus. Come on. Come on. I can't believe 0 mythics. All right. Skipping through. Eerie Worshippers. Wow. I definitely want to play this card in limited. I just love making flying tokens. As long as you find a way to clear the way. He's probably bad. This is a bad late game draw, but still, I'll play this every time if I'm playing blue. Springleaf Drum, Maltus Autonomer, Plea for Guidance, 6 mana. This box is killing me. This box is killing me. I've got another box here. I might just trash this video and throw this video in the trash because this is total Snoresville. Although, it's kind of like watching the Super Bowl, the last Super Bowl, because the game was disappointing, but it wasn't the biggest blowout in Super Bowl history, so we weren't able to see history broken. So the fact that it wasn't a total disappointment actually makes it even that much more disappointing. I riffed a little bit of that from Slate's Political Gabfest, but that was what stuck to mind in that. All right, Eerie Worshippers, Fnatic of Xenagos. Faded Retribution. Okay, I've got the full Faded cycle in this box. This is one of those cards that if I open Japanese packs, I won't be able to remember what this card does. I mean, I do like Instant Speed Wraths, but and this does blow up Planeswalkers, but at this point, I'd just rather play Planar Cleansing and Constructed. Alright. 7 more packs left. Alright. Come on. Turn this round upside down. Skipping. Hey. No. Sather Nick Smith. Love the art. Just burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno, burn, baby, burn. Gonna turn this mother out. I dig it. Sanguimancy. Love the name on this card. I follow a really nice blog from Japan, the Japan Hobbyist. The guy who maintains that blog, he's a big fan of this card. I thought to myself, this is a Necrologia that might not even get you 3 cards. I'm not a fan. Eternity Snare and our... Okay. You're doing better. You're out of the doghouse, but that doesn't mean that I don't expect good things out of you for a finish, okay? Fox, are you listening? Very good. Brimaz, King of Orskos. I know people say that there are... What's that name of that chocolate cookie? Oh yeah, Brimaz, King of Hydrox. Oh wait, those got removed from the market. I can't remember what that thing's called. Okay, next pack. Thunderroot, Siren Song Lyre, Raised by Wolves, Perplexing Chimera. I dig this card. Lots and lots of shenanigans. It reminds me a lot of Rainbow Veil from back in the day. So yeah, this is cool. I'm happy to open these. I know it's a bulk rare, but I loved playing this at the pre-release, so I just had a very positive reaction to the card, so I'm happy to open it. Money be damned. Ooh, I said damned. So far on my videos, I have not cursed. And I will not curse during this video, even if this box is a bit of a Verschluginger disappointment. I'll say Yiddish epithets, but they're not curses, okay? Black Oak, Archetype of Endurance, another Biobolite, Arbiter of the Ideal. Who cares about that? Boring pack anyway. And we're getting to the end, so yeah, I might be getting a little tired. It is after midnight. Shrike Harpy. Okay, cool. Noble Quarry, Acolyte's Roared, and we've got another Spirit of the Labyrinth. Okay. You are slightly warming me back up, and I just had to take a brief break for hydration. Maintaining your voice is very important in videos. This is something I learned from 10 years of teaching. My voice is my moneymaker. Thank goodness I don't work in the adult entertainment industry. All right. Thassa's Rebuff, Drawn Sorrow, Ragemonger. Okay, so I suppose he sells the old werewolf trading card game from White Wolf. Okay, that's pretty obscure. There used to be a trading card game called Rage. I never played it. Temple of Plenty. Okay, that's, what, the 4th temple in this box? I like temples. I'm happy to open them. All right. Second to last pack. I'm actually going to talk my way through. I'm going to look at the commons and actually make an evaluation as to what the draft pick is here. All right. Epiphany Storm. I like things that give you opportunities to improve your hand quality, so I might think about it, but not at first pick. Hold at Bay. Garbage. Just way too much for a damage prevention spell. I mean, yeah, it can be a bad fog, but not a fan. Marsh Mist Titan. I actually think Black Devotion, this is a perfectly reasonable card. You're going to get it late. So I don't think people are going to scoop these up very early. Nyxborn Wolf. Okay. We've got Bestow 5. So much value on this guy. I think it's a solid card. Is it first pickable? So far, I like it the most in this pack. Floodtide Serpent. Not a fan. Asphyxiates. Oh. I prefer the white one better. I would rather hit heroic guys with it, but if you're trying to get in combat, obviously Asphyxiate is better. So this is better in aggro. I tend to be more of a control player, so I prefer the white one, but vive la différence. A Crone Skyguard. Pretty solid common. I don't particularly like drafting the heroic deck, so I'm down on this card compared to other people. Reckless Reveler. I'm happy getting these 5th, 6th, 7th in red, although I don't like drafting red. But this seems like a perfectly serviceable card. It can obviously break up a weapon. Snake of the Golden Grove. Now, is this my replacement for Nessian Asp? Did I say that right? Nessian Asp? Yes. 5 mana. I don't know. It's gaining 4 life. Again, you're never going to get exactly what you want. It doesn't have the potential to go quite as big as the Asp. So I think that's a better card, especially because it has reach. But I'm not going to kick this out of bed. Archetype of Aggression, Pinnacle of Rage, Siren of the Silent Song. This definitely looks like... Okay, I got another mythic here. Phoenix. Now, I told you guys before I like drafting black-blue. So in an 8-man pod, I just think this is such a game breaker. It's certainly splashable. You don't even have to focus on getting there with Devotion. But it's where this just happens to be what I like personally. So I'm really happy that this is the pack that I went and opened to evaluate. So, okay, Phoenix. Cool.
One of the best cards in Limited.
Yeah. All right. If I open this pack and Phoenix was gone and I just was picking the second runner-up, I'd still go with Siren of the Silent Song. 2/1 flyers. I mean, they're efficient, they're cheap, and this one has a huge upside. So, I dig it. So we've got the King of the Cats and Phoenix as my mythic. I mean, they're good mythics to open, but I'm still a little disappointed. This is the last chance box. What do you got for me? All right, so Sather Wayfinder, not my favorite Sakura Tribe Elder. I don't see myself wanting to fill up my graveyard that much in Theros formats, unless I'm playing black-green and have Journey to the Underworld. But you don't know you're gonna open a Journey at this point, because you haven't seen Theros yet. Maybe in Sealed, it could do something. Farragax Giant, okay. I dig this guy. Definitely has good stats. Retraction Helix. This card was awesome for me in the pre-release. I love this common. Just really efficient, helps you use lots of mana. Yeah, there is the risk of getting 2-for-1s, but the 2-for-1 cost is actually pretty minimal. There are bigger blowouts to be had out there. Great Hearts, nothing special. Weight of the Underworld, 4 mana for doing effectively 2 damage. I don't want to draft this card. Maybe I might take it 11th, 12th, or 13th, but I'm going to pass it. Deepwater Hypnotist. This card did good work for me in the pre-release. It has decent stats. I would be perfectly happy with opening these in sealed. Do I want to draft it first? Obviously not, but I think people will be happy with them. Nyxborn Shieldmates. It's a heroic trigger. I don't think anyone's ever going to play it as a 1-drop. Follow the Hammer. Stop. Can't touch this. Damn it, the camera's not positioned. The way I shake and shimmy my shoulders is hypnotic. Audience, you are missing out. Not. Karamitra's Favor. Good color fixing card. Good heroic trigger. What's not to like? Not first picking it though. Oresco Sun Guide. It's a strict upgrade to Traveling Philosopher, aka what B. Arthur calls Mel Brooks in History of the World Part 1. Again, I told you I don't swear, which is why I'm telling you go watch that movie, History of the World Part 1. I adore Mel Brooks, and why am I talking about Traveling Philosopher? Not even in this set. Archetype of Courage, Thunderous Might, Acolyte's Reward, and my rare... Oh! A Mythic. Flamed Wreath Phoenix. Okay. Now, if my opponent plays this card, I want to yell, "Objection!" Sorry. You guys could tell before I made another Phoenix Wright joke, so I really like that franchise. This card, a 3/3 flyer for 4 mana, is perfectly reasonable, and it's unkillable, or you get a 5/5 for 4 mana. Now, I don't like drafting red, but this is a really solid 4-drop. I'm not too worried about signals in this pack. If I open this, I mean, I do kind of like Farragax Giant. I do kind of like Deepwater Hypnotist if I want to draft a nice cheap aggro deck. The white doesn't really do so much for me, but I do really enjoy Retraction Helix because I think tempo can be incredibly important in this format. It ruins heroic triggers. So as much as I like this, it's hard to pass on the Phoenix. All right. So that's the end of this box. So I'll be back in a second with a quick recap to show you what rares I opened. So just to recap on my rares, in red I got that, well, first of all, let's go to the Mythics. 3 Mythics out of the box. I mean, yeah, we got Brimaz, which is the best, and I like Phoenix even though my buddy says it's going to go down, but I'm just happy to have him. The Phoenix, I don't know how much that, I honestly, I don't see that as being that valuable in the long term, but I don't spend a lot of time on price speculation. That's just not where I'm at. I usually like to buy 2 boxes and trade for what I want, and then just pay retail and trade for whatever I need otherwise. So generally when I open boxes, I really want cool Mythics. The more Mythics, the better. I got 1 Pain Seer out of this box as far as black goes, and blue. None of the blue rares are that big a deal. 4 Temples is perfectly reasonable. 2 Spirit of the Labyrinths I'm cool about. I enjoy Satyr Fire Dancer. My buddy over at the Japan Hobbyist, he and I have been talking about some constructed applications. Although I was a bit of a negative Nancy, I mean, the potential is there. And then in green, nothing to write home about. So anyway, those are the rares for this box. And thank you guys for watching. Thanks for dealing with me just riffing. You guys can tell that I sound very different than I do on my show because I am just kind of riffing and making stuff up. I don't want to try to sound educated here because I don't want to come across as a snob. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you guys open some awesome boxes in the future. And are we going to see this again for Journey into the Nyx? You bet. In fact, I have another box. I might even be shooting that now. Anyway, I'll see you next time on Ancestral Recall. This is Eli Kaplan signing off. Good games, and good luck.